Jared of the Wasteland Coder here again. Today we're going to take a look at the unit tests for FizzBuzz that we looked at last time. So this time we have the unit tests here. It's filled up on a page here. We'll split it up to actually dig into it, but we can highlight some parts here. So we have a bunch of import statements, some setup here. This is all just around getting the system out print lines that we had in the original code set up in a way that we can unit test them. And so that's not super important for this. And then we have our actual unit tests here. There's basically two different parts of them. We have these and these. These top ones here are basically all around making sure that it prints out the right word for the right number. So make sure it prints fizz for 3, buzz for 5, FizzBuzz for 15, etc. And then the second ones are counting the number of occurrences of the words. So we want 27 fizz, 14 buzz, 6 FizzBuzz. So let's dig into each of these in detail. So first, fizz for 3. What we're doing here is we get the content that we printed out. It's going to be all of the 100 lines that we printed out. And so what we're going to do is split that into string, grab the lines into a list, or a stream in this case. We're going to collect that into just a list, and then we're going to grab the third one, which is a zero-based index, so we're going to grab the index of 2 and then make sure that says fizz, and a similar thing for 5. Do the same collection and then assert that the 5th one is buzz, and then for 15 make sure it's FizzBuzz. And then this last one down here is just making sure that we have 100 lines altogether. We're just counting the number of lines. So that's all pretty simple. Next we have the counting of the number of fizzes and buzzes and all that. So we do the similar type of get it into a stream. This time we're filtering it with this lambda expression. So we're just making sure that the string that we're testing is equal to fizz. So this is going to ignore all of the FizzBuzz ones. So make sure we have 27 fizz lines, because we're counting them there. And then similar thing for buzz, make sure we're just counting those, make sure we get 14 of them. And then for FizzBuzz, make sure we get 6 of them. Okay, these three are all doing pretty much the same thing, just like the first 3 were. These ones are really simple to parameterize into a single test rather than duplicating the similar thing 3 times. And so we can pull out some parameters like the number of occurrences and the word that we want to occur, and we can end up with something like this. So this is a JUnit 5 parameterized test. We're giving it a nice display name for the grouping of the tests so that when it prints out in console or in your IDE, it looks good. We're giving each test a name of has, and then parameters, lines. So the way that we're setting up the parameters here is the first one is going to be the name of the thing, and then the second one is the count that we expect. So here this will print out something like has 27 fizz lines. And so that's a pretty good output. We're giving it a source, CSV source, and this is just comma-separated list basically of the list of things, and then each element is comma-separated inside of that list. We have the name of the test, and here's the parameters that we're passing in, giving it the string name and an integer count. We call the program, and then we assert that the count that we got is we assert that the count that we expect is the count that we get from filtering the list again on that name that we got passed in. Okay. if we go back to looking at the big test, there is quite a bit of duplication in here that we can extract out, and so we can see that we're doing this type of thing, the toString.lines and toString.collect quite a bit, and that's occurring kind of all over the place in here. The toString.lines is in every test that we have, so we can easily pull that out, and then we can even pull out the filtering that we're doing down here, which we just extracted that into a single test instead of 3, so that's not as big of a deal anymore. This also looks kind of funky in the test. You don't really want test to be doing a whole lot of weird kind of calculations like this is. It's not obvious right off the bat what's happening here, so it'd be much nicer to pull that into a method that looks just like getLine and give it a number, right? And that would be much better to see in a test than the kind of array, the index-based access. So we can leave it at that, and see you next time.